We're going to do our Chiefs 53-man roster predictions tonight. Also, we're going to answer some questions for you. Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, ACU crew. How is everybody doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. Hit that like button while you're rolling in here. Help us get this out to more people. See if we can wake some Chiefs fans up tonight at 9:04 p.m. On a Thursday. Mike, there's a game tomorrow.
Yeah, there is.
Everybody's got to lock in. Time to lock in, everybody. Real quick, want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. We'll have more on them here in just a little bit. But, Mike, we did our 53-man roster prediction. This is kind of the first and probably only draft we're going to do, unless we need to tweak something after the game tomorrow. But yeah, what are you thinking about it?
Yeah, people asked for it. We thought we'd give it to you. We planned on doing it on the Sunday night live, but we realized that roster predictions was going to be final before we did it. And we could have kept it that way, and we'd have been perfect. You'd have been like, these guys are
should have
freaking
done
awesome.
that probably, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to get closer than you did this year. This is a wild one to predict this year. It's crazy. We say this every year, but it really is a tough roster. I think it comes down to about 4 or 5 players, 4 or 5 specific moves. And there's a few spots here and there that we'll talk about tonight. That's kind of where the, 52, 53, the 52nd, 53rd guy is going to be falling in at because, I mean, it's a pretty, I don't want to say it's a bad roster, but when you start doing it this way, it's not as deep as you thought it was. Yeah, you're going to see with some of these names.
I mean, yeah, I think we all saw that coming at certain positions, right? I mean, You got them scrambling at right tackle right now and offensive line in general, so you knew that was going to be a thing. But there are some other positions that are a little odd as well. But you guys in the chat, make sure that you guys are letting us know what you think as well. If you see anything that you don't like or see something you like, let us know. We definitely want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Also, we'll try to get to your questions as much as we can, obviously. And any kind of super chat, we'll make sure that everybody gets their question answered. But, yeah, Mike, I'm ready to start this thing when you are, brother.
Me too. Let's caveat this by saying we do have one more preseason game. Now, look, I don't know if anything happens in that game that's enough to switch it. We've seen this years ago. Khalif Hallisey looked like he was going to crush it. Destroyed in the third and final preseason game. He didn't even make the 53. So I don't know if there's anything these guys can do at this point. It's pretty set for, like I said, about 48, 49 players. So let's just get to QBs. I think we're going to take 3 this year, Steve. I think Nussmeier has proven that you do have to take the 3rd. We drafted him in the 7th round. I think they drafted him because they want a Mahomes backup here that they don't have to go out and do what they did this year. Didn't have nobody, had to go trade, had to bring in Fields. Fields has been serviceable. I think he's looked okay. A lot of people don't like what he's done compared to Fields or Nussmeier. They think that Nussmeier's been more of a gunslinger. He's this, he's that. He fits the style better, and Fields is just, he's took a bad sack. He's kind of dinked and dunked around.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, I think that Fields is firmly on this team, Steve. A lot of people are saying Nussmeier should just be QB2. Trade Fields, do you think that's an option?
Right, so I did a whole damn video on this subject, and I think it's pretty clear. Andy Reid, no matter how good Nussmeier is or how much upside you think he has, Andy Reid always wants a QB2 that can just come in and settle everybody down and run the offense and not try to do too much or force anything. I think you can look back at all the QB2s to Patrick Mahomes in his career, and most of the times, guys, you had a Chad Henne, you had a Matt Moore, you had someone like that that's just going to come in and do the basic stuff. Now I understand that Justin Fields might not be as experienced as some of those guys were, and he has his problems. I get all that. But I think right now you have to totally rely on someone like Justin Fields as opposed to a 7th-round draft pick rookie. I understand he should have went higher than that, and I understand his upside's high and he's exciting to watch. But I think you just want someone to steady the ship and not potentially turn the ball over or try to do too much. But at the same time, we're keeping 3 because you don't let someone like Nussmeier even get close to getting poached off your team, right?
Right. Tilly comes in with a question here, and I wanted to get to this one because a lot of people said this. Don't waste the money, dump Fields. Now, Steve, a lot of people have said this. They don't think Fields is worth what he's being paid this year. He's going to hit the Chiefs with a $3 million cap hit in 2026. Now, that's not a lot if he's the guy that can come in and right the ship if you need it. If we needed to have started the season with a QB2 because Mahomes couldn't be there, which now that's looking less likely. It's looking like Mahomes is going to be ready.
Right, but
here.
that's why Justin Fields was brought in.
Right, but he's $3 million. And now that we know Mahomes can go forward, is it worth paying $3 million there? Because if they cut him, there is no dead money there if he's cut by the team.
I don't remember what they paid Gardner Minshew. I don't remember what they paid Carson Wentz. But what I do know is Andy Reid wants someone with some experience to be able to come into the game. I don't see them like, look, y'all, we have Jalen Moore on this team getting paid $20 million or something crazy to be like potentially a backup swing tackle.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to eat it. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, appreciate the question, Tilly. I think it's something worth asking though, Steve. He is $3 million. I think there's a lot of contracts on this team that aren't justified. Justin Fields, Jalen Moore, Christian Fulton. That's three big ones I can think of right off the bat. And all three of these guys, I could be like, hey, if you want to cut them and get rid of them, I'd almost be okay with it.
Right, but at the same time with the Justin Fields thing, like I think it's the context. You have to remember why he was brought in. They thought Patrick Mahomes might not be able to go in week 1, so they needed somebody to come in, maybe potentially win a few games early on, and not just stick a rookie in there to see what happens.
Who do you think is more important to the roster out of those three? Do you think Justin Fields is more important to this team than, say, a Jalen Moore? Do you think Jalen Moore is more important to keep over a Justin
three?
Fields? Just those two and then Christian Fulton. Like, out of the three bad contracts right now, like, who's the most important?
Jalen Moore, probably.
Right, I think so, too. I think Jalen Moore would be the guy of those three. If you wanted to maybe trade Fields, I'd be okay with it. If you wanted to trade maybe Fulton, see what you could get, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
But I just don't see Andy Reid going that route. So let's go ahead and run over to running back, Steve. You can talk about these guys if you want. We're going to take 4 here.
Yeah, for sure. So don't mind that DeMarcado is spelled wrong because Mike asked me to make graphics for this 53-man roster prediction about 15 minutes ago.
Sorry.
Okay? So I did the best I could. If anything's wrong, don't laugh at me. But either way, we got Kenneth Walker, obviously. He's going to be the bell cow. He's going to be that guy. Let's hope he stays healthy because if he is healthy, this offense is going to look completely different than it has been in the last few years. But either way, DeMarcado, he's got the experience. He's also got the home run hitter ability like Kenneth Walker. He's also a very good pass protector, which goes a long way in Andy Reid's running back rooms, especially when you got a guy like Patrick Mahomes back there. And you're probably going to need the extra protection because your offensive line isn't looking just stellar or anything like that, right? So then, of course, you got Emmett Johnson, who's been going nuts in the preseason, and everyone's excited about him. Brashard Smith, this is the one that you could kind of go either way if you wanted to here. I just don't think that they let him go to practice squad or anything crazy like that this year. He's like multifaceted. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to work him in at like a slot receiver position. He's like a much better Jerry and Ely that we had like a few years back. You know, he can kind of do both. And I know Smith hasn't exactly flashed and been crazy at any given time yet, but I think he's shown enough that there's some promise there. He's a good athlete. He's a good player, and he's going to get better and better. So, I mean, I think the 4 there makes sense too.
Yeah, I like that running back room. I don't think they take 3. I just can't see it. And I honestly believe DeMarcado may be like this diamond in the rough kind of player, but so far he's not really shown it. And Emmett Johnson's kind of jumped him for RB2 at this point. I just don't think it matters. To be fair,
they haven't
RB2,
used
RB3.
DeMarcado that much in the preseason like they have Emmett Johnson.
Absolutely.
And that can mean one of two things. Like either they like Emmett Johnson better or they already know DeMarcado what he does.
Yeah, 100%. Let's run on the tight end here. Let's just go tight end. And look, there's a big debate whether they're going to go 3 tight ends or 4 tight ends. And if it's the 4th tight end, I think everybody's debating, is it Brenningstool, is it Trey Watson? I could only make 3 work. This is what I'll say. Kelsey, Gray, and Wiley. Now, if you want to tell me that Wiley has not lived up to potential, he's a little too injury prone, you don't think he's the successor here after Kelsey's gone, which I don't. You maybe want to put him on the trade block, see if you can get back maybe something that you
ain't getting shit for Wiley, brother.
Maybe not. You may get a 6th or a 7th round pick. It just depends on a team that really needs something. If you could maybe go that route and keep Brenningstool, I would be all for it. But I just can't find a way to keep Brenningstool on this team right now. Is that a mistake? Absolutely could be a mistake. But I think right now, I think the Chiefs would try to just go ahead and keep Wiley and try to sneak Brenningstool to the practice squad, Steve. And, I mean, that may not be a popular opinion, but I think right now, going into preseason game number 3, I don't know how you take 4 tight ends.
I think that's the problem, right? The reason why you don't have 4 tight ends on this 53-man roster prediction is not because tight end doesn't deserve it, not because maybe Brenningstool doesn't even deserve it. It's because there's so many other positions on this team that are just not up to par.
Right.
That they're going to have to use those spots. And then you got guys that we're going to see here in a little bit that takes away some of those as well. So it's kind of a give or take, and it could go either way, you know. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all to see 4 tight ends on this roster, and it could kind of go either way there too. Maybe they go Trey Watson instead of Brenningstool because they want somebody that blocks a little bit better. I don't know.
Right.
But right now I think tight end, although it's a big-time position to us, and we've been wanting them to backfill it and do all this and that, I don't know if they're looking at that one right now where they think they have to overload it.
Exactly. And as I said, if you take 4 tight ends, you maybe have to cut an extra body in the offensive line room. And some people would say, well, that's fine. The offensive line room's kind of weak anyway. But when it's weak, I feel like the Chiefs maybe want to have more bodies to try to develop, or maybe more bodies to rotate if somebody sucks. So I feel like I couldn't really skimp on the offensive line. And then wide receiver, you know, are we taking 6? Are we taking 7? How's that going to roll? I just didn't know how to do it. And look, if it were up to me personally, Steve, and I don't know about you, we try to hit these every year, again, based off what we feel the Chiefs will do, not what I want and not what you want. Because if I had to choose, I think I would take Brenningstool over Wiley.
That's tough. That's really tough, especially what you've kind of sunk into Wiley, I suppose, as opposed to what you've sunk into Brenningstool, who was a UDFA that was hurt all last year.
Anything, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you, but I mean, it is what it is. I just think that's kind of where they're at with it.
Okay, well, let's go ahead to offensive line. Let's cover offensive line here. I'll go ahead and bring this one up. You've got the starting 5, obviously: Josh Simmons, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Kingsley Suamataia, Jalen Moore. I went ahead and took Esapole. I think Esapole has to be your backup to Simmons. I'm going to go ahead and take Benson. And look, Benson has been tried at right tackle, tried at right guard. It's possible some of these guys are going to get switched to the left side here in this last preseason game. It is what it is. I think he's shown enough promise and enough this and that. Like, he's not been perfect, but I think he's done enough to be able to be kept on the team. I'm going to go ahead and keep Caliendo. I know a lot of people don't like Caliendo, but look, he was signed for really cheap. He's a very cheap backup with a lot of experience. Andy Reid loves Mike Caliendo. I just can't see him going anywhere. Now, I could be wrong. Hunter Norzad was where it got a little shaky, but I felt like Hunter Norzad has always been the keep over, say, C.J. Hansen.
Yep.
And I do know there's a couple guys like Pete Nigra. I've been very big on him, but so far we've not heard tons in camp that would make me think they're going to take Nigra. And then, of course, Izudu, my bad, I didn't want to pronounce his name wrong, but Izudu, you just traded for him. He's primarily worked off the left side. Now, he has done the right side here in the preseason with the Giants. And so right tackle, right guard, but he does have left guard, left tackle experience. So I think he's now a swing player across the board. I don't think you trade that and not put him on the roster. And so I think he's got to go. So my debate was 9 linemen or 10 linemen, because Andy don't always take 10. Sometimes he will take 9. But I felt like you had to take the 10th because this offensive line is really beyond the starters. They're very, very shaky across the board. And it's like, if you get rid of Caliendo to bring on a Brenningstool, what happens if, say, Benson or even Izudu or any of them just really struggle? Like, you don't have that steady rock like
I think it's
Caliendo.
been pretty apparent throughout the preseason that when you get behind our first team offensive line, these guys suck. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to sugarcoat it. You don't have to say they're not up to par or whatever. They suck. They're not good. And the depth is weak. And here's the thing about our starting offensive line. They're slightly injury prone when you start looking at a couple of the guys.
That's another reason I wanted to take 10 over 9.
What season have we had where we haven't had to suffer any injury at offensive line? Almost none.
Well,
right?
You got Josh Simmons right now battling one, and Trey Smith was injured a lot last year, and he's been out a lot of camp this year.
Right. Well, the point I'm trying to make is I think you keep 10 instead of 9 because you got more things to throw at the wall and see if it sticks.
Exactly. That was my thought process.
Yeah. So I'm right there with you. I think that makes sense.
Okay, and so let's run on the wide receiver because, I mean, you can debate this.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be honest. You can debate everything here till the cows come home.
Yeah. Before we get to wide receiver, guys, get in the chat. Let us know what you think about everything. Hit the like button for us, please. It takes 2 seconds. Even if you're on a TV, you hit up, and then you hit over, and then you hit enter. That's all you got to do. Helps us out. We'd appreciate you.
I like that. Yeah, hit the like button. We've only got Only got 47 likes right now. That's
it's been really
ridiculous.
sad lately. These live streams have been really lagging. We got to get Chiefs Kingdom back in
Get
the
off
groove.
your asses and let's party. It's
We are
almost football
one
season.
shitty preseason game away from the actual season.
Yes, and look, that preseason game is going to be fun to watch tomorrow. Again, are they going to have enough implications to turn this roster for what we're projected right now? I think there could be. And this is going to be a big one, wide receiver. We've elected to take 7, guys. Look, I know people wanted Remigio out, but I think the way Tobe hypes up Remigio and talks about him, I don't think Remigio's going anywhere. So for me to get Andrew Armstrong on this roster, I had to take 7, and that's why I had to cut Brenningstool. And a lot of people will say, look, Brenningstool's better than Armstrong. I don't know if he's been much of a factor for this offense so far, as Armstrong has shown. And so that's kind of the debate right there, is Armstrong or Brenningstool or
Right. Well, that's what I was going to bring up when we were talking about the tight ends, but I didn't want to give away the wide receiver yet.
Exactly.
But I think those are interchangeable. I think it could absolutely be Brenningstool and not be Armstrong.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if you could take both of those guys.
If you do, you've got to now cut your offensive line down to 9, which is still a possibility. That's
Maybe.
still a possibility.
Maybe.
But yeah, Rice, Worthy, Thornton, we all know they're making the team. You're not cutting Cyrus Allen. You're not cutting Jalen
Right.
Royals. Those guys are 5
just-
locks.
just
And
kinda
honestly, I
to-
think Remigio's a lock too.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to reinforce what you said about Nico Remigio, it doesn't matter what any of us think about him. Like, Dave Tobe loves him, and let's be honest here. He's the only returner that has really made himself known at all in the preseason. There have been opportunities for Brashard Smith, Cyrus Allen, a bunch of these other guys to come in and maybe make some noise and be like, oh, well, look, we don't really need Remigio. Remigio's been the only solid one, been the only consistent one, which
Right.
gives Dave Tobe more firepower to come at Andy Reid and say he has to have him.
You're right. And Steve, look, JD, he says, I'm not a fan of Remigio. Lee comes in and says, I hate that we waste a slot for a returner.
Yeah,
this
it
has been a
sucks.
common sentiment throughout Chiefs Kingdom. Don't think we don't read this stuff every day. All day, every day, we read it.
We think it.
We think this.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to play off of emotion of just what I want. Steve doesn't play off what he wants. Like, if you watch our draft coverage, if you watch anywhere, we come at everything from a perspective of what are the Chiefs going to do in our opinion. And in our opinion, I don't think Dave Tobe is not going to have Nico Remigio on the squad.
Yeah, I don't see it, dude. I think
I
he's
just
absolutely
can't.
going to get his
And
way
I know
on
that
one.
rubs people the wrong way. Don't take it out on me. Don't take it out on Steve. We're just trying to give you what we think the Chiefs are going to do. And so, you know,
Don't
it's
kill
one of
the
those
messenger
things-
here.
Yeah, don't kill the messenger. So I think, well, Master Chief says, look, I just got in. Did you have us with 7 wide receivers? Absolutely. Look, we're just talking about the wide receivers. And we'll go ahead and recap the offense before we move to defense. We took 3 quarterbacks, Mahomes, Fields, Nussmeier. We went ahead and took 4 running backs, Walker, DeMercado, Johnson, and Smith. I think at that point, nobody disagrees with those 4.
No.
Tight end, Kelsey Gray Wiley. Now, look, you could have the 4th tight end. Is it Watson? Is it Brenningstool? I think a lot of people would say Brenningstool over Watson. But I think Watson blocks better. I mean, if you wanted to go that route, if you wanted more of a belldozer, I just don't know how that goes. Offensive line, we took 10. Now, this could be a year where you only take 9. It wouldn't surprise me. You could cut Caliendo. You could cut Norzad. You could cut Benson. You could try to sneak any of those
I
to
wouldn't
the
be
practice
surprised
squad.
to see them cut Azudu after trading a 7th round pick for him.
It's possible. It's very possible. You could try to sneak them all to the practice squad, but at the same time, just in case you can't, you might want to take them because, like Steve has said, Simmons right now is battling an injury, and he battled injuries last year. Trey Smith battled injuries last year. He's missed most of camp this year with an injury. Jalen Moore has not been very good. Let's just put it that way. Esa Pole
He hasn't made us feel the warm and fuzzies.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Pole and Benson, both young, both a little green. They've looked good at times. They've both had some very bad snaps. Caliendo, I get nobody really loves him, but Andy Reid likes him. He's liked him for 3 or 4 years. They've developed him somewhat. He's a swing guy that can play left side, right side, maybe even center if you need him to. So, I mean, I think between him and Norzad, that kind of covers like your interior. And then Azudu now can cover left guard, left tackle, right guard, right tackle. I think he can play 4 out of the 5 spots right there. And so I think you got to take 10 because we're just so weak and there's a lot of injuries. And then, of course, wide receiver 7, I seen it in the chat. Our wide receivers are injury prone. Worthy likes to say injured. Rice has been injured a few times. He's been in trouble a few times. Royals, he couldn't stay on the field last year. Allen's been injured a couple times in the preseason. Remigio's been injured. You don't know what you have there. So I think for me, it plays safer to play 7 And if you really want to get rid of Remigio and just keep Armstrong, I would be fine with that. But again, I don't think Dave Tobe's going to go for that.
Yeah, it's the same concept as offensive line. There's more things to throw at the wall and see if it sticks, if things happen. Right. And now here's the thing to consider. Since you just recapped the offense, this is pretty offense heavy. Like, I don't know what the ratio is there, but it almost seems like the defense might be a little light after that hole. I don't know.
It's 27. It's usually 26, right?
Well, you have
Well, yeah.
3.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now,
3
look,
special teams.
Again, where are you cutting there? Again, let's just consider that.
Yeah, right.
Where would you cut?
I don't know. Let's look at the defense, and then we'll talk about all of it.
Let's go defense. Defensive tackle. I've got us taking 4. I think Steve 100% agrees, obviously. But we got Chris Jones, Kairos Tonga. You just went out and signed him. I think he's going to do a lot.
I would like to see Omar Norman Lott get off the PUP list and be there instead of Harris.
Right, but he's not going to be. I think you have to take Harris. I don't think you can take 3 defensive tackles. Now, look, if they tried that, maybe put Omar Norman Lott on the PUP and maybe just tried to rotate in, like, say...
They've been using Felix in the
right, Felix, Gelati has played on the inside.
There's a lot of guys that can play inside, but yeah.
They could try it. But again, we're going to get to defensive end, and here's your 4 defensive tackle, and Marcus Harris is at the end. I think he's outplayed McNeil a few times.
I would say if either of those 2 that you just mentioned make this team, it's their lucky day. It's just so happened that things worked out to where they had to be there. You know what I'm saying?
When you combine that with the defensive ends, you've got Carl Loftus, R. Mason Thomas, Ashton Gelati, and Udike Azama.
See, normally we run with about 10 defensive lines, so this is pretty light.
It is light. But again, where do you go? I mean, you could go Ethan Herkett. I don't know if he's done enough. I don't have Emmanuel Ogba on here. Now,
a lot of people think they're going to go out and re-sign Mike Dana.
That is a possibility, and that's why I've left this open. To me, and now look, Ogba can switch it up this week. But if you all watched Ogba last week and some of his limited playing time, he looked slow, old, and he just looked horrible.
Didn't look good, did he?
He didn't look good at all. He was like wasting space out there at times. And look, I don't have nothing against Ogba. I like the guy. I hope he does well. He could play himself onto the roster, but I think he's going to have a big game coming up. Now, look, they didn't sign him to a lot of money. He still could be able to be cut, and I don't think it's a big deal. You do, like Steve said, Harris is going to make the squad because I think the PUP list is going to be just right there for Omar Norman Lott. And look, Ashton Gelati could have to start the season on IR. If there's any setbacks here, they could say, look, let's not rush him back for week 1. Let's just go ahead and put him on IR, get him back in 4 weeks, make sure he's completely healthy. Maybe they go ahead and take Ogba, and maybe that opens up another spot for somebody. It's a very tough call this year because we've got a lot of weird injuries and weird positions, and some of these injuries are in positions that are kind of weak.
Yeah. Hey, just for the record, Bam, I'm right there with you. I don't want Mike Dana back.
No.
I would rather run thin.
Yeah, 100%. But they're saying that he's probably not going to make the Bills roster.
No, they're already cutting him. And it's like,
yeah,
that's the thing. Like, these guys, we end up taking them back from other teams. They can't even make shitty teams. And we're like, oh, we have to have them back. No, we don't. Well, let's just get over it. Let's quit romanticizing these old players, man.
Yeah, Copeland says Lott over Harris. Put Harris on practice. Well, he's going to start on the PUP list, so you don't want to give him a 53-man roster spot.
Right? If he's not on, if he were to be healthy and ready to go,
if he's healthy, he's making that
sure,
all day
absolutely.
long.
It's not even a question.
But he's going to start on the PUP, so you got to put somebody there because you just go into the season with 3 defensive tackles. To me, that feels dangerous, especially knowing Peter Woods
dangerous.
Has had some injuries.
And like I just said, normally we run with 10 defensive line, and we're looking at 8 right now. So shout out Janae for the jewels, by the way. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with Brian Parrott. You can't play Dana and expect improvement over Dana. That's what they wanted. Look, if you got rid of them first, let's not go back and get them. Now, look, it's been bad. If you told me you got Mike Dana, like if you had to take Ogba or if you can get Dana back for around the same price, I'm probably taking Dana over Ogba. Are you not?
I don't care. Like that's
I
like
don't
asking
either,
me.
but I think
That's like
Dana's
asking me if
better
I'd
than
rather
Ogba.
cut off my right pinky or my left pinky. You know, I don't care.
Okay,
I don't want to do either.
So look, we've got 8 defensive linemen. I'm with you. I think it's a little thin. It's a little thin due to injury. It's a little thin just due to a lot of stuff. We've talked about this for years. The defensive line is thin.
Yep.
It's freaking thin. Like we've complained forever about this. Okay, linebacker. I'm going to take 5. Sometimes they'll take 6, Steve. There's been one year that Andy Reid's took 4. But I'm going to take 5 over 6 this year. And there's a caveat. Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil, Jeffrey Bossa, Coop McDonald. That's going to be the main guys. Jack Cochran's dealing with a knee injury right now. If he's fully healthy, he's making this team. I don't see him not making the team. He's made the team 2 years prior. He's going to do it. He offers, Spags likes him. He offers a lot of special teams kind of help. He's dealing with a knee. It doesn't look super serious. But if the Chiefs want to play roster, some kind of roster maneuvering like they did last year and all this weird stuff where they're hiding players and making this and doing that. They did it with Najee Johnson. They did it with a few times last year. If they want to do something with Cochran here, like maybe slide him to IR, drop him, bring him back, do something like that, I definitely think they could try to get a sixth on. Now, who's that going to be? Is it Cam Arnold? Are you going to bring in, did you bring in Cam Jones and he's just going to make the team that quick? I think Cam Jones offers you a lot of special team help. What do you think? You think 5's the magic number?
Well,
and if Cochran's on IR,
this goes along with
the
the rest of the theme of this 53-man roster prediction. The defense is very thin because normally we'll have 6 linebackers. Normally we'll have 10 defensive line. So, we are very below what they normally hold at defense. So I don't know if that's how it'll go or not. But like you said, if they were to have to take 6 linebackers, who's next? Cam Jones?
Right. It would have to be Cam Jones. I would guess Cam Jones. Now, look, Wesley Basaint, I think they probably try to get him on the practice squad. Cam Arnold could probably end up on the practice squad. But I do think Cam Jones, Cole Christensen's right there. But, all these guys are, no better than the other guy. So what you're saying is we are so weak. It's well, look, we've got 8 defensive linemen. You could have slid on a 9th or a 10th like Ogbah. But would you rather have Ogbah taking up a space or would you rather cut Andrew Armstrong and have him leave?
Exactly. No, I'm right
to me,
with
I
you.
would rather keep the younger talent.
Yeah.
I don't care if the offense is a little bit more stacked, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
We'll stop it right there for just 1 second because I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody that's here. 225 people in the house tonight. Look, that's across 3 platforms. So
We got to up it, baby. We got to up it.
I don't believe here we are 2 weeks away from the season, and Chief fans are just in hiding.
Ever since the Chiefs got their ass whooped in the Super Bowl by the Eagles, a big portion of them have stopped. Now, that also could correlate with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have been together too long. Now it's not fresh.
I think that
I
was
don't know.
what was pushing
But
2 seasons ago.
regardless, I want to shout out Richie for the jewels and Janae for more jewels. And then also About Time's been a member for 29 months now. So let's freaking go. So shout out you guys. You guys are awesome. Also, just real quick, because you know me and I can't let it slide, we got the donkey in the house, and he says, let's be real, Chiefs are the darlings of the league. No way does a league let them struggle for so long. Well, here's the thing. That's just you trying to prepare yourself for getting your ass whooped by the Chiefs this season. You want an excuse, right? Now, here's the thing that I would have you think about. Back when Denver was good in the 90s, with John Elway, or back when and Terrell Davis, or the 2000s with Peyton Manning, were they the league's darlings? Is that why they won? Because they were the league's darlings, or was it because they were good? I think that's exactly what you're seeing now. Okay, if the Chiefs were the league's darlings, Denver would have never won shit. What are we talking about? All right, continue.
Steve, you got that out of your system. Look, if we were the league's darlings, they wouldn't have let us miss the playoffs last year.
Dude, people are so stupid when they think there's any kind of bias or any kind of rigging or anything. Y'all
If
are crazy.
that is the case, look, let's just we've talked about this 1,000 times, but just food for thought. If it's the case that the league favors the Kansas City Chiefs and wants the Chiefs to win,
They didn't do anything right last
then
year.
the entire league is a fraud. So why do you watch? Because if you win, you are now being handed something.
Right.
It's all fake. It's like WWE at that point. So if you win, do you really have bragging rights either, or did you just get handed it?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You
my
can't
point.
say one team gets favored and not say it's all not just completely fake.
Yeah,
at that
the
point.
dude, the darlings last year were the Seahawks because they're so marketable. Sam
Yeah.
Darnold.
Yeah,
I mean,
so marketable. We all want to see the Seahawks. Okay, let's move
go.
on. Let's hit special teams because it's just Butker, Riza, Winchester. There's never any competition there.
that was the fastest graphic pull-up I've ever seen.
We don't need
Can
to
we
see
at least
anymore.
stare at Butker's butt for 5 seconds?
I don't want to look at Butker's butt.
Janae does.
Did
That's
you
all she
put-
talks about in the chat.
Did you put a halo effect over Butker's head where he looks like a little angel, little choir boy?
I did not do such a thing.
Okay, let's move on to DB. Here we go. Here's what I like to see. DB is a wild one to predict, brother. It is a wild one. This is what we went with. 10. I think you got to go 10 here. Now, there's some caveats here.
10. It's
No
10.
Williams, Mansour Delane, L'Jarius Sneed, Fulton, Cater Kohu, and Kennedy. There's your corners. Now, look, I don't think you're cutting Kennedy. You're not cutting Kennedy. I think Fulton is definitely a trade. He's a trade bait kind of guy. I don't know if anybody would trade for him. And even if you can't trade him, I think Fulton and maybe even Kohu both, one of the two could be cut. Neither one of them has looked all that great because you still had Melvin Smith taking snaps over these guys. There was a
Melvin
few guys.
Smith has looked pretty damn good.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, Fulton is not like Fulton's owed $8 million this year. If you could get rid of him, now if you cut him, you have to pay some of that. But if you can trade him, maybe you might not have to. And so Kohu's not really making tons. So I mean, you've got those caveats. Master Chief says I've got those same 10. Yeah, and so when you go back to safety, look, Roland Wallace kind of does a little bit of both. I mean, he could technically be in just the corner position, but the Chiefs just call him DBs. Hicks, Gilman, and Connor, and that makes 10. And you're going to notice, Steve, Xavier Wampa definitely deserves to make this team.
Yes.
But I could not get him on here because you can't take 11. And so, again, these are all caveats. Is Kohu going to make the team? Is Fulton going to make the team? Is one of these guys a trade kind of asset that you could do, whether it be Fulton or Kohu, either one? I don't know how it goes, but if you can't get rid of Fulton and you don't want to cut him, and you don't want to cut Kohu, Xavier Wampa's not going to make this team. It's that simple.
Yeah, that would be nice to have him out there, right? I just realized, completely off subject, but I realize every time you say a number, like I have some kind of movie reference. Like with Varsity Blues with the 10, with Billy Bob, and then when you said we can't go to 11, I instantly thought of Spinal Tap. I'm sorry. But either way, you're right. We can't go to 11 in the DB room. Now, I don't think they'll go much lighter than 10. And they're absolutely not going to go lighter than 10 if they go as light on the defensive line and linebackers. Yeah, man, this thing could go 9 million different ways. But I think this is a pretty fair prediction here. There's some things that we could tweak and change. And I'm sure they might, like you said, pull some roster maneuvering where they'll put someone on some kind of a injury list or something and make things happen. But I think this one's pretty fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there. There's lots of things we could do. Wampa over Kohu. Look, if you want to do that, I'm fine with it.
Potentially, yeah. Here's the thing. I think what you want to be careful of is to not overload your defensive back room with safeties and risk having Tamari Connor go into the nickel. Because that's disgusting. We are done with that.
Also, I think there's another thing that we could learn as being Chiefs fans. Every year there's usually a UDFA that'll kind of sneak on, like Christian Roland Wallace, things like that. But we tend to fall in love with these guys, and then the Chiefs don't take a lot of them. They'll go with proven over a lot of UDFA, and that's why Khalif
take one here or there, though. Yeah, you're right.
Well, we've already taken like 3. Mm-hmm. So how many are you feasibly going to take? Now, I do think Wampa deserves it. I think out of every UDFA, him and Andrew Armstrong are probably the two that deserve it the most right now.
Yeah. Mike, we got a 5-bomb from Terry. Says we never seem to go without injuries. Please and thank you. I don't think Gelati is going to be out for the year. Yeah, no. Gelati should be back in a couple weeks.
Right. Again, they could start him on the IR, which means he'd get to return in 4 weeks. They could go that route if maybe there's some kind of like slowdown, or maybe you just want to sneak a guy on that you're afraid. You know, if you think Brenningstool's going to be off, maybe you just take Gelati, put him on IR, and free up that extra spot for 4 weeks and see what you can figure out. Yeah. So there's that kind of thing you can play with, and I fully expect the Chiefs, Steve. Also, it's very possible they pick somebody up like they did Peyton Hendershot that year, and then they blow all these up because you just got a guy coming off another team that's going to come on over and make the roster.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because I didn't want him giving you my credit. That's all. Because it was me that liked Jake Brenningstool.
Oh gosh, Steve, take the offense.
No.
As if I hated Brenningstool.
No, I had Brenningstool like my number 7 tight end in the draft, and I was like, "It's due to get drafted. Like, what's going on?"
Steve, you were also a big hype machine for Gillenborg this year.
And he got hurt. He pulled a Jake Brenningstool.
You like all guys that just get undrafted and then get injured their first year.
I guess so. I mean, my reasoning is the same for both. Like, they're both phenomenal pass catchers and could be offensive weapons. But But if you can't be healthy and be on the field, what good does it do, right? Guys, appreciate y'all being here. Do us a favor. Hit the like button. It just takes 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get more people in here for the back half. Also, we got to take a second to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. Let's get some entries in real quick.
Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's episode. Let's get it going. We're going to take Eddie Pinheiro, 1.5 field goals made. We're going to go more on that. We're going to take Harrison Mevis with 1.5 field goals made, more there. We're also going to take Garrett Nussmeier versus Seattle, 191.5 passing yards. Going to go less on that one, believe it or not. Harrison Butker, 1.5 field goals made. We're going more there. That's what the Chiefs like to do in the preseason. We're going to lock this thing in. If you want to follow along with us, download the link in the description. Use code HMA. Now back to the show. Yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
Steve, look, I had to start this one. I wanted to bring this up. Gizmo in the chat says this. Do you buy this? Kennedy is a practice squad guy.
Dude, look. Maybe. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't think they will. But, like, I even mentioned this a few weeks back. I was like, because you were like, who would be a surprise guy that doesn't make the roster? And I was like, Jade Kennedy. Because people hyped him up to the moon for no reason.
I mean, I think they still do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying Jade Kennedy's bad. I like Jaden Kennedy. I think he's a good football player. But these people were acting like he was going to come in here and be Darrelle Revis. And I don't know what they were talking about. But I absolutely think that he's going to compete for that nickel corner position and be out there in the nickel, in my opinion.
Right. Cole Keller in the house says, I have Armstrong and Benson on my mock 53.
Like
so
it.
Right there with us. I like that one. Gizmo says, I hope Armstrong makes the 53 for at least his run blocking. Yeah, 100%. I think
he offers you a lot of stuff, right?
Here's my thing. A lot of people saying, look, Brenning Stool, tight end, this and that, 4 tight ends. Does Andrew Armstrong not give you red zone potential to where maybe you don't need that 4th pass catcher in the red zone? Or, like, it kind of helps ease that
Armstrong
a little bit.
is a big body. I mean, he's big, he's fast. I mean, he's kind of like a Brenning Stool in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not far apart, except for Armstrong probably blocks better, to be honest. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I like what Armstrong offers you because he's very well-rounded.
Steve Master Chief says you have an eye for the tight end. Dude,
Yeah.
I got the wide receiver. You got the tight end. I mean, we're right here. If they would let us incorporate this offense a little bit.
Do we need to be on the scouting team?
You know, look, I'll put in the application.
Dude.
I have too much hair to be liked. Okay, so look,
I'm
you
bald.
can do it.
I'm bald. I'll do it.
You could join in.
Score. Sign me up. Where do I sign up? Where do I apply? Let's go. Guys, let us know what you think about the 53-man roster. I know some of you might have just came in. You didn't get to see the whole thing. But what do you guys think is going to happen? Are there any surprises? Do you think there's any surprises? Do you think that Brett Veach will make any more moves like he just did when he signed this kid on the offensive line?
Yeah, possible.
It's Zudu.
Brian Parrott says Candy would never clear waivers. That's probably absolutely true. Here's another one, though. A lot of people, don't put him on waivers. Don't put Andrew Armstrong on waivers. He can't clear it. Don't put Brennan Stoll on waivers. He can't clear it.
That's not necessarily true.
We all have to we got to back it up.
Caldwell just cleared it.
Jeff Caldwell we were told all summer long that we kept saying, look, we like Caldwell, but calm down, pump the brakes. We've seen this over and over. Caldwell gets injured. Now, if he don't get injured, maybe he's got a chance to make the team, but I still think he was getting outplayed by Andrew Armstrong. So Caldwell, even when he got cut with an injury designation, we were hearing over and over, this is a mistake. He's going to get claimed. He's going to get claimed. And I was thinking, there is nobody going to claim a kid on an injured designation that has done absolutely nothing, especially being as raw as he was.
My thing with that is
he squeezes right through.
I have a hard time thinking that any UDFA, whether they're in their first season or second season, that people are just dying to get them because every team in the league just passed them up 7 damn times.
Yeah.
So, like, I love Brenning Stoll. I think he's great. Do I think he would pass waivers? Probably 75% chance he does.
Yeah. I mean, Copeland still agrees Brenning Stoll's not going to clear waivers. Look, everybody said that about, Jeff Caldwell too.
Oh, Caldwell.
What's Brenning Stoll really offered people? He was a UDFA that was passed up. He was injured all last year.
So, well, let's talk about this.
I just don't know. Like, because if he does get picked up, he's got to be picked up and put right on the 53. He can't be put on somebody's practice squad.
Right, that's the thing, and I think that's what stops a lot of these guys from being picked up. It's not like they can just stick them on their practice squad. But let's talk about this. Now that we've got our prediction in for the 53-man roster, and there's a lot of questionable stuff on there. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it's not bad wrong. But what do you think about the roster overall? Are you still hopeful that the Chiefs are going to have a better season than last season? Do you think they could have more firepower in the offense? Do you think they could be as good on defense as people are hyping them up to be? Or do you think there's just too many holes that it's going to take another year or two for the Chiefs to get back right?
I honestly don't think the Chiefs are Super Bowl ready this year. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Now, I know it's not very popular. I'm sure half of y'all will shut this off now and tell me I don't know ball and never watch this
You don't
again.
know ball, man. We're Super Bowl ready.
They're going to tell me this all year. We get this all the time, Steve. We tell people this constantly. Like, we try to keep it real. It may not be the most popular. It's definitely not the one that's going to walk the line like the bigger channels out there that just don't want to give an opinion. But that's not what we do. I would rather have a little bit of integrity, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and if I'm right, I'm right. But I don't feel like the Chiefs have done enough. And this is why I'll say it. We just went through the roster. The wide receiver room's still a tad bit shaky. The offensive line room is definitely shaky. The tight end room has not been – did I say the tight end room twice? I meant the wide receiver room. The tight end room is not the deepest either, let's be completely honest. You get to the defensive line. We've been injury-plagued. You never know what you got there. They're talking about bringing back Mike Dana after they just signed Emmanuel Ogbah, and we still can only find 8 guys.
There's a lot of problems on this roster. But
right, the linebacker room is thin.
Two things can be true here.
Yeeks.
You could say they're not Super Bowl ready, and that's fair. I mean, last time they were in the Super Bowl, they got mopped, and then last season they couldn't even make the playoffs. So that's fair to say. However, this team is definitely going to be better than last season. Like, I have a hard time believing.
I
have a hard time believing this team is only going to win 6 games.
I think it would take some really bad breaks for that to happen.
It took a lot of bad breaks for that to happen last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, literally, like the year before when we went 15-2, they weren't that great that year, but the ball bounced our way a few times. Things went our way. Last year, it was the exact opposite. So, I mean, literally, it's pretty much the same team. It just, the ball bounced the other way. I think this year they're a little more stable for the simple fact that we should have a decent running game. Now, all of this depends on the offensive line.
Yep.
Because the offensive line's shaky at best after the ones. So if we can maintain health at the offensive line and Kenneth Walker can stay healthy and be on the football field, Emmett Johnson does what he does, I think we absolutely are going to be able to put more points on the board this season than last year. By far. Like, we're not going to be one-dimensional. We're not going to be predictable. Now, Andy's got to call the games correctly, right? Andy's got to have the right schemes. Andy's got to be creative this year. He can't just do the same stuff over and over again. All that goes with it. But the defense, I think, is pretty talented. They're young. They're inexperienced, but I think they're pretty talented. So I'm thinking by halfway through the season, Spags probably have a pretty solid defense. So I think this team could definitely be much better than last year.
Yeah, look, I'm cautiously optimistic that this team is on the right path. Like, we're 100% on the right path. There is still a lot of questions. We are still a lot, very thin in a lot of positions. So it is going to rely on how healthy we can stay throughout the year, because we can't afford many injuries. And over the past few years, that's been what's got us every time. And it's not looking great this year, to be honest. I mean, 14 guys are going to be setting out tomorrow night. And I get it. A lot of it's just, precaution and this and that. But, dude, we've been bit by the injury bug hard over the past few years. And we can't afford to get down into our lower depths because we don't have a lot of depth.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what's up with the chats tonight, but when I click them, they instantly disappear, and I have to re-click them back up. I don't know what's going on.
That's wild. I don't know.
But shout out Ron, our boys in the house, been a member for 31 freaking months. Says, I had Zarda today, and those hot wings are fire. Let's go, baby. Zarda's delicious. Shout out Zarda. Y'all get over and try Zarda out if you haven't been there. But appreciate you, Ron. Thanks for being a member for so long and always supporting the channel, brother. Mike, we also have a 10 bomb from Josh Vasquez. Let me click on that bad boy. Says, I hope they put Woods and Thomas on the edge tomorrow. I want to see that duo. Who's with me? Man, they haven't really moved Woods around a whole lot, and Woods hasn't flashed a whole lot. I mean, defensive tackle. I don't know. I think they're definitely going to have to kind of the way it's set up, Mike. Like you said, we're going to have 4 defensive tackles on the roster if they take Harris. So, I mean, they're definitely going to have to throw a bunch of different looks at this thing. And, I mean, Spags does that anyway. So, would I be surprised to see something like that, Josh? No, but maybe not either. I'd be excited to see them just switch it up a little bit, see what we got.
Well, we talked about moving a little bit of, defensive ends inside because you'll see Gelati do that a lot. You'll see FAU kick inside. Mm-hmm. Well, Gelati's now injured.
Yep. Gelati's got to get back healthy, man. He's had a rough offseason.
There's even more, panic here for the defensive line, to be honest, with depth. Look, the starters are going to have to play very, very good. Tonga and Woods is going to have to help Chris Jones a lot, and you're going to have to see FAU, R. Mason Thomas, and George Karlaftis carry a lot on the outside. And then if you want to switch Woods out, I'm completely fine with that if he can do it. You have to see it. Now, look, he did that a lot. I want to say in college he played almost 170-ish snaps from the 9 to the 11 tech. He can absolutely do it. So, I mean, I would love to see it. I'm not, but I think we could also utilize some of our linebacker blitzing and things like that. Like, I think Coop McDonald, Jeffrey Bossa, guys like that could absolutely. L'Jarius Sneed, we know he can come off the corner flying.
So could the lack of depth at the defensive end position be a blessing in disguise for the fact that Spags is going to have to play R. Mason Thomas?
I think he has to get snaps now.
Yeah, and I think regardless, they're still looking at him as like a third down pass rush specialist. But he's shown in the preseason that he can set the edge. He can be a viable run defender. Now, he's going to have to keep proving it, obviously, in real action against real competition. But I don't know if they can use him much less than what they've been using him because, like I said, they're thin. And I want R. Mason Thomas on the field as much as possible. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I want to see that too. I don't want to see him get buried like
Josh
Spags will tend to do with the undersized guys. But so far, R. Mason Thomas has looked really good setting the edge.
So good.
He's looked good stopping the run. So,
yep.
Look, like I said, we're very top heavy. We don't have tons of depth throughout the entire, literally running back, quarterback might be some of our best depth.
Yeah,
how wild is that? But in corner's a pretty good one right now, to be honest. And that was supposed to be like a big time Achilles heel for us when the season started. I think Brett Veach done a really good job in that room, but some of these other rooms have kind of went a little neglected. And I don't know if that's necessarily Veach's fault, if there just wasn't nobody there, if the money situation was too tight. I don't know, but yeah.
So Tom brings this up. Remember when we had Tony Sky Moore and MVS as our top wide receivers, and we won the Super Bowl? Brother, I'm right there with you on this. And for the simple fact that there's not been a Super Bowl that Patrick Mahomes has won where we weren't completely just terrible, abysmal, depleted, and awful at some key position. And sometimes both. Sometimes we had no running game and we had shitty wide receivers. A lot of times we had no offensive line. Everybody's hurt. It's gutted. You can't count this team out. Like, you could say they're not Super Bowl ready, but you can't count them out of the Super Bowl conversation because you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback and Andy Reid your head coach. I think Travis Kelce's going to have a better year this year. Travis Kelce's just, he's a dog. He's got that fire in his gut. He don't want to go out in a bad way. So I'm expecting him to have a pretty good year as well. I think there's a lot of young talent on this team. Like I said, a lot of it's unproven, but there's very high ceilings out there. We have a lot of really good young players. I mean, you're just talking about R. Mason Thomas and Peter Woods. We haven't even mentioned Mansour Delane. We have all kinds of really good players. They just haven't been able to prove themselves yet. They're rookies, right? Or even you mentioned Ashton Gelati. If he's healthy, I think he was on an upward trend at the end of last year. And I think he could get after it a little bit more. Maybe we can get Omar Norman Lott back healthy and be able to use him. I mean, I don't know. I think this team actually has more viable weapons on the offense than almost any Mahomes team that I can recall, unless you go back to when we had 2018 maybe. Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, all killing it, right? Maybe go back to the year that we had Sammy Watkins out there as well. But otherwise, I mean, this team, people talk about the wide receiver room being a problem and being weak, but, I mean, honestly, they look a hell of a lot better than some of these years we've watched.
Right. I'm with you on that sentiment, but is our defense going to be as good this year as they was that year?
I think we had a top 5 defense in the league that year, didn't we? A top 10 defense in a league this year. I think they could be.
I mean, look, we
It could very well go the other way too, because like I said,
Yes.
there's a lot of unproven guys out there.
We every bit have the potential to do it. Like even our wide receiver room, people have been harping on it, but look, if Rashee Rice wants to go out and ball out, he's good.
Yeah.
If Worthy steps up and actually looks like a late first-round pick, he's going to be good. Tyquan Thornton showed flashes of good, if not great, last year. Jalen Royals has shown that he can be very decent. Cyrus Allen, very excited about him. They could be 5 deep there. That's pretty good if they had all just hit, and if Chad O'Shea can get their heads on right. So, I mean, we could be good. The thing is, and I guess this goes for every NFL team, it's how they play out. Health is going to be a factor, and you always know it, and then that always makes you rely somewhere along the line on your depth, and our depth is a little shaky in a lot of places.
Right. Guys, get in the chat. Let us know if you think this team is Super Bowl potential. Do they have Super Bowl potential or not? Do you think it's just an absolute no, or do you think they could? Just let us know what you think in the chat. Real quick, I wanted to show you guys this while it's still going on. We got the merch store blacked out right now, baby. All new merchandise over there, all black, for the beginning of this season here in honor of kicking off this NFL season. You get $25 off of orders over $100 or $100 with code blackout. So go to merch.allchiefedup.com and get yourself some of this stuff before it's gone. I know I got to get my hands on some of it because those hoodies are looking fire. But yeah, if you guys want to go grab something, it helps support the channel and you get something in return. We would appreciate that, but just wanted to throw that out there to you real quick.
Yeah, buddy. Steve,
Yeah,
I'm
buddy.
excited. I'm about to order one of those hoodies for sure.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
We may order an extra one, maybe give it away or something. Well, Steve, look, let's talk a little bit about other things.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of time. We got about 10 minutes. We're going to be here with the people longer, so get your questions in. If you haven't, hit that like button. Look, word of mouth helps a lot. If you guys know any Chiefs fans, we met so many people at the Chew with the Crew that said, hey, I told my neighbors, they watched you. Like how funny was the dude talks to his neighbor? I think it was Matt. And the neighbor knew who we were, and then they become they come and hang out with us.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So I love that. Word of mouth's a big one. We're trying to grow this thing to 100K this year. It's going to be very shaky. That's like us trying to get to the moon in like 5 years, and we don't even know anything about space.
Well, something else. You're talking about the word of mouth thing. I'll say this. Like, I like to go watch all the other Chiefs creators. So sometimes when I have spare time, I'll go try to support them on their live or something like that. Like, one thing I'll say is usually in our chat, I'm going to see at least 3 or 4 different shows mentioned in our chat. But when I'm in their chat, I don't ever see anybody mention ACU. So we got to flip the script on that a little bit, guys. We got to flip the script a bit on that because there's a lot of people. There's people that watch this show, and this show that don't watch this show. So like
There's a lot of people that haven't seen our stuff yet because YouTube likes to hide us.
That's true.
That's a big one. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's here. And if you didn't know, we are going to be live streaming games this year. We've already done the first 2 preseason games.
We got one
We're going to be
tomorrow.
doing Friday night's game. And look, we've been giving away something amazing. For the preseason, we give away a Dwayne Bowe jersey each game. Okay, a signed Dwayne Bowe jersey.
And we got a signed jersey to give away tomorrow.
We got a signed jersey
To
to
the
give away
top
tomorrow.
fan.
To the top fan.
Oh, speaking of Andrew Armstrong, I see you in here, brother. I see you. And we need your shipping information. So you need to email us, allchiefedup@gmail.com. And
Because why?
Somebody
Andrew
put in the
won
chat.
the jersey last week.
Andrew was the top fan on our game stream last week. Won to sign Dwayne Bowe jersey. Easy peasy. Now he's got one on the way as soon as he sends us his address. So
Absolutely. So look, tune in Friday night. We're going to be doing it. We'll probably be a little early. We're going to do a pregame. We'll probably stay a little late for a postgame. It's going to be a good time. Look, we got a lot to talk about on that game and everything, so it's going to be fun. We got the new scoreboard up and working. We've got all kinds of stuff. We got fun things, but the more importantly about it, it's just watching the game with you guys, having some real-time interaction. You guys can listen to us talk about the game in real time.
can't watch the game. Yep.
Right. If you can't do it, I'm going to call it. I've been calling the games.
He's getting better each time.
Yeah, maybe once we get out of the preseason, they stop playing everybody and their grandma every other play, and we start getting to a normal roster. It'll be a little easier.
And before you know it, Mike's going to be a regular Mitch Holtis.
Yeah, I'm already applied for that job. They did tell me I need to shave my head.
They said you're going to have to shave your head, brother. But, yeah. Anyway, y'all come hang out tomorrow, for real. So the game's going to be on, what is it, 7 Eastern time? So 6 Central, I think? I'd have to double check. But either way, we're normally on about 30 minutes early, maybe 45 minutes early. And also, we have other things in the work too. We're trying to pull something together for you for like post game shows this season and stuff like that. So we got a lot of stuff in the works. So come hang out with us. It'll be a fun time. And
It's
like Mike
8:20
said,
Eastern, 7:20 Central.
okay, yeah. So we'll be on a little before 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, we'll be giving away signed jersey. Which signed jersey are we giving away tomorrow?
I'm not for sure. I've got
Let's
a
just
few
go
back
ahead and
here.
tell the people. That way they can prepare for it. They can come in here and be the top fan tomorrow and get their jersey.
We got a Jared Wiley jersey. Y'all want that?
Signed Jared Wiley.
He's
see
a
if he can make
cut.
the
He's
team.
on the cut line, but maybe he has a big day tomorrow. We'll give away a Jared Wiley jersey. Oh, Jared Wiley.
Try to put the good juju in there.
Let's put the good juju out for Jared. Okay, how about it?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Juju
So,
for
yeah.
Jared, and not the real Juju. Don't bring him back either.
Yeah, top fan tomorrow gets a signed Jared Wiley jersey. Also, if you're not a member of the channel, you can do that at join.allchievedup.com. We are at the end of the month here. It's August 27th now, so we're going to be doing a members only live stream in the next few days where we're going to be giving away a signed Creed Humphrey jersey in honor of kicking this season off. And yeah, it's Creed Humphrey, right, or is it George Karlaftis?
We've got both.
Well, we'll pick one. Y'all can pick it. Yeah. We got all of them guys sending us jerseys right now. So
Look,
we'll
you
give
guys are
one
being
away.
very disrespectful to Jared Wiley. Yours truly says he needs a floor mat. Come on, brother. As a signed, Jared Wiley signed this jersey, sent it out to us for you guys, and you guys are disrespecting him. Like, he still represents the Chiefs. Come on now.
Look, man, and I even banged my head on the microphone when he got drafted, and he still did that for us.
Look, if you don't like it, I'm sure somebody in your family is a Chiefs fan. They'd love to have a signed jersey. It's free.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So come be the top
That's
fan.
rude.
Get that bad
I'm going
boy.
to tell Jared. I'm going to be like, look, Jared, nobody wants your shit, okay? Maybe he'll just quit.
Let's go. Let's go. Y'all get some questions in if you got them. We'll get to you. We got a few more minutes here. Real quick. Appreciate you. Hit the like button. Appreciate you being here. Subscribe if you haven't. We're trying to get to 100K subscribers by the end of the season. Now, that is now almost impossible from where we're at right now. I think we'd have to be on pace for like 300 subscribers every day, which is very, very hard to do unless YouTube's just out there jamming it down everybody's throat. And they don't do that to us. No. So we're going to need your help. Like Mike said, word of mouth, all that fun stuff. But hit the subscribe button if you haven't. If it's just that easy. If you
Steve,
haven't
I got an idea for tomorrow. If you don't like
Yeah.
Jared Wiley, we'll play a game.
Okay.
If you're the number one guy on the board, you get a Jared Wiley jersey or a mystery. If you want to take the mystery box,
Yeah, I
you
like
can get
that.
a mystery box.
So look,
If
either
you
get
want
the
Jared
mystery-
Wiley, I'll give you Jared Wiley.
I like it.
We'll
Let's
play
go.
mystery box as your, and it'll be the equivalent of what a Jared Wiley jersey would probably mean to you.
Yeah. Big Copeland over under 9 wins. I'm taking the over on that. Mike, I think you're right there with me.
Yeah.
Also, Kingdom asked, are y'all going live Sunday for roster cut downs? We sure are.
We'll be live Sunday.
We sure are. So, yeah, we will be live. Make sure you're with us for the game. Make sure you're with us Sunday for the cut downs. All going to be good, man. Let's go.
This is definitely in the mystery box. 100%. So
Whatever.
You take your,
That one's framed and on my wall, brother. Had to have that one for myself. Couldn't
Dude, we
give
got
it
a lot
away.
of good things to go because we're re-upping our partnership with Zarda for the season.
Let's go,
Because
baby.
that sponsorship ends like next month. But hey, we talked with Terry, and we're excited to keep going forward here. So we're
year
going to
two.
make that work. So we're going to have tons of Zarda stuff to give away this season. We're going to have like sauces, dry rubs, you name it. We're going to have it. We're going to give those away. We've got some merchandise. Hell, we've got hats like this that we're going to be giving away, little Zarda hats and stuff like that. So we've got tons of stuff. We're working on more sponsors to be able to give you guys a better show, to give you guys more material, to give you guys more freebies. Like, we're working on every bit of that. So bear with us. We're trying to get it going. We're trying to take this thing up a notch.
Yeah, and like we've said 1,000 times, it's just me and Mike doing everything.
Still,
Everything.
Write, edit, record, you name it. We do it all.
Yeah, if you see it, we did it. End of story. We don't hire anybody. We're too poor for that.
Too poor to hire people, but you know what? I need to hire someone. I am tired.
We could give away some ACU hats. So that's the thing. Our store is Fourth Wall, and they do this really cool thing where, like, if we do a giveaway, we can just send you a link and you can get your product. So, yeah, we could do something like that.
Kingdom Man says Zarda's awesome. They gave out goodie bags at the Chew with the Crew with the seasoning and the sauces, and it was awesome. So, absolutely. And I've got a few of those still, ready. I can send out some of those. So, we have plenty of crap to give away, and we'll make sure you guys have good stuff. If you come watch the game, again, I've said this thousands of times. You come watch the live streams. If you support the channel, we give back. You support us, we support you. That's the way it works. It's the way it should work.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Shout out to Swap Piney with the jewels.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
jewels.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
I like that. We need that. We need to turn it up and run it back.
Yeah, and then Janae. Appreciate the jewels, Janae. Yeah. That's awesome. Let's go. And Janae's been nice today. I haven't seen her say one mean thing about anybody. So that's cool.
She did say I sucked earlier.
She probably talked crap about Jared White. I take that back.
Kidding.
She probably said something bad about Jared
Todd
White.
said just give some ACU merch away.
Hey, we'll do it. We'll do it. Also, shout out Richie with the jewels. Appreciate you, Richie. Thank you, brother. But, yeah, you guys be on here tomorrow. Probably about 30 minutes before the game. We'll get going. We'll have a little pregame. Give you the kind of the rundown on everything. And then we'll be here calling the game. And we'll have a postgame as well. So you guys come hang out with us, and we would appreciate that. That'd be awesome. Try to get more and more people in on the games and, you know, the play-by-plays. So the more, the better. The more, the merrier. Is that the saying?
Yeah, something like that.
Tom Hood said, I saw a Sky Moore jersey online for $6.99. Hey, you should buy it for that and then just put a little duct tape on the back and make it a Brashard Smith jersey. It's worth it. $7. Something to think about. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Make sure to leave comments on this thing and let us know what you think about the 53 when you have time to go back and check it all out. Also, we released a video yesterday. If you haven't got a chance to check that bad boy out, it was a good one. So go check that out as well. And then, of course, like I said, be here tomorrow. We're doing the live play-by-play of the game. It's going to be a good time. Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. They're awesome. Shout out Zarda for sponsoring the channel as well. And we'll catch you guys next time. Go Chiefs.
Wow.